Bess, are you thinking? Or are you staring at your fish?
Both. I wish I could reach them, so I could make them understand I'm keeping them in there for their own good.
I'm not following you, dear.
Well, I'd like to set them free, but if I put them in a lake or a river, the pollution would kill them. So they're better off here in relatively clean tap water. But they probably hate me because they think I'm keeping them prisoner.
Fish don't hate, dear. Hi. Oh, Mary.
Hi, Aunt Mary.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to have Penn Plax because you're third generation, and that's like amazing. I know of one company outside the pet industry that's fourth generation. It's a glass bowl company that's actually on the great granddaughter actually runs it. So it's kind of neat to see a company go to 3 generations. That's amazing. And also be privately held. That's also amazing. So congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to your parents as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we love the fact that it's a family business, and Jasper and I had we're interested in continuing this.
That's great. So it was started by Jerry Rosen and Marty Goldman, right?
Yeah, so it was started, so Penn Plax actually started prior to Penn Plax as a pet shop on Saratoga Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. It was called Saratoga Tropiquary. And it was started by Marvin Goldman and his brother-in-law, Jerry Rosen, and then their wives, Anita and Roz Goldman. And then later on, Marvin brought in his brother, Jerry Goldman, to the company as well. And then years later, it transformed into Penn Plax as what we know Penn Plax as now.
Yeah, so that was in 1956, the pet shops opened. There were 2. As Jasper said, one in Brooklyn, one in the Bronx. And in 1960, Penn Plax was created, and that's a company that we all know now.
That's great. So I remember doing trade shows in the late 70s or through the 80s and 90s, and I remember Jerry Rosen, and then I remember your parents, Terry and Ricky. I remember them all quite a few times. We were staying at the same hotels and whatnot, so that was great. So another question, let's see here, 63 years, that's pretty amazing. And the first products that your family made was vacuum formed aquarium ornaments, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, really how we started, we had the pet shops, our grandparents, Marvin, Anita, Roz, and Jerry Rosen. And it was full on. So it was, dog, cat, bird, reptile, all types of animals. But Marvin is an engineer and an artist. So he started creating some products to stock his own shelves.
Wow.
And yes, so he started doing some vacuum formed 3D backgrounds for aquariums is where he began.
And he made his own vacuum form machine out of a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Anita, his wife, our grandmother's vacuum cleaner that he took in the back, and he made it part of the manufacturing process.
That is so cool. In fact, I have here one of the original Penn Plax ornaments, a vacuum form sort of Charlie the Tuna.
Yes.
So I know everybody is going to ask this question, but do you guys have all the ornaments at your, historically, do you keep one of each?
We have most of them still. There's definitely a few that we don't have in our possession anymore. However, scattered throughout the office in different shelves, in different hidden places. Yeah, we have a lot of them, and try and keep the history alive, at least somewhere in the office.
That's great. So the company originally really focused on aquarium ornaments, and then you diversified into everything else. Your company now is full line. You make everything, right?
Correct.
Back on aquarium ornaments, how many do you currently manufacture?
Sure.
That's a hard question. We have a lot in our line. Our current aquarium decor catalog is 33 pages long. So there's a lot. I can't even give you a number, but we have a lot in our line right now.
Okay, and would you say that the jewel box ornaments were your most popular, the ones that did the best?
I originally the jewel box line was very popular. It's really what got our start, got us into a lot of the different pet shops throughout the country, and started Penn Plax as being known in the aquarium hobby. However, since then we have diversified drastically. Right now, a lot of the more natural decor and more modern decor pieces are very popular. And a big part of Penn Plax's business is licensing as well. So we license with Nickelodeon, Disney, Universal Studios. So a lot of those more modern character themed ornaments are just really the most popular that we have in our lines right now.
So here's a good segue. How did the licensing thing come about? What made you guys decide to start licensing?
Yeah, so we started licensing years ago. We originally, I believe, got our start officially with a line of Warner Brothers products. So we went to a trade show. We met with the people at Warner Brothers and decided to make a line of Looney Tune themed aquarium decorations. So that was the official start of our real licensing journey.
And also, I think I was a little child and very, very into the Little Mermaid. And I think they saw how passionate I was about the Little Mermaid. And hey, if she loves it this much, I bet a lot of other kids do too. So, I think Terry and Ricky and Marvin and Jerry, who were all involved at that time, saw that there was good opportunity there.
That's great. Well, as you know, all the ornaments have become passionately collected by like toy collectors. It's like crossed over from not just crazy people like me that collect them, but also people in the toy industry or toy collectors. And of course, the most famous one is this one here, the creature. Or I think you called it the monster. Didn't you call it the monster? I think it was called the monster.
I think that's what
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that's right. I have a picture here of the monster. And the rumor that was out there was that Penn Plax made this and got in trouble with Universal Studios because they had Creature from the Black Lagoon, and somehow Jerry and everybody got a license, and that really launched them into licensing things, saying like, hey, wait a minute, we can license these things and actually do really well. And so, I mean, you guys kept selling it, and so obviously it was licensed from Universal or whatever. Because that was the end of that. But it didn't stay on the market long. And there was two of them. There was a green one and a black one, which I know we'll get a picture of later. But do you know why it was made in two colors? I know because people are going to ask that.
I believe it actually goes back to the fact that when we first started coming out with this, we weren't actually in the licensing game. This was more of something that we came across. We thought it would be a great product and a great introduction to the aquarium industry, but then we did get in some trouble actually with the licensing end of it. So we did our first production run, and then when it came around as the second production run, we still had such a high demand for the product, but we had to make some changes. So that's when we changed the color of it, made some slight changes to the face as well, and differentiated a little bit more from, I guess, the typical Creature of the Black Lagoon license itself.
That's great.
Yeah. In the early days, I think we also had an issue with Charlie the tuna and the tuna fish company. So now that we're very involved in licensing, we're much more aware of the landscape, and what to do with the licensed items. But it does make for a great story and great collector's items.
Do you know what that thing sells for? Like in bad shape without a box, it's maybe $150 to $200, but in perfect shape, mint in a box is $1,000 on up. So it's amazing. It is the most collectible Penn Plax ornament, hands down, period. And
it's pretty amazing, yeah.
And actually, there's a couple. The revolving lighthouse just sold for $515 on eBay, and the submarine, there's one up on eBay for I think $1,500, and one just sold for $300. So I'm just shocked at how the prices are going through the roof, and there's more and more collectors coming up for all the Penn Plax ornaments. So I know after this video, they're probably going to call you and say, if you have any back on your shelves, I'll buy them from you for big money.
Well, I have to say there are a very limited number that are out there. So, obviously that makes it a little bit more of an exciting collector's item. If you find them, get them because they're really not around. Jasper said we have some in our office, but we don't even have all the originals. But we love it. We love that people, it's become such a exciting item for people to collect. But we actually do have the molds in our archives. So, if people did reach out to us, we could bring back some of the originals potentially.
Ooh, like a limited edition? Because you'd want to make it a limited edition, so it doesn't affect the originals as well. But no, that would
So reach out to us if you guys want it. If there's enough of a demand, who knows?
Oh, that would be awesome to bring back the creature, just do a limited production. What would a limited production be, like 10,000?
I don't even know. I guess we're really not sure what the demand would be, but yeah, 10,000, why not?
That would be so cool. So let's see. So you're still making ornaments and you're still making jewel box ornaments. What does that look like as far as do you retire one if it's not a great seller, so it has a limited production run, but if it's a really good seller, you do another production run, you keep it out there? Because I know the skeleton stayed alive for a long time. People like that skeleton ornament, but some of them, they come and go.
So Penn Plax, we come out with new products every single year in all categories. So yes, as it goes for every single category, aquatic decor is the same, and we bring in new items and we keep items until the demand diminishes. So that's why you'll see some classics. Some of the very originals are still in our line because the classics never die. People really want the same thing. Once the demand does go down on certain products, that's when we start discontinuing it. So there really is no set schedule to when we are going to discontinue. It really is what the market's looking for that changes our decisions.
That's great. Do you guys do the trade show circuit yourself? Are you out there hitting all the shows?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, COVID has gotten in the way of that the last 2 years and we miss it, but back at it again.
I know with Zoom Ed, COVID, business went nuts, and it went nuts for all my friends that have companies in the pet industry, but it's come to a screeching halt in the last 3 months. Is it the same with you guys? Are we in the same?
Yeah, I absolutely. I think we're right in line with the rest of the industry. There was immense amount of growth during that COVID period. However, as things have settled down over the last few months, we definitely have seen the industry calm down a little bit.
I know we look at the numbers and we go, how come our numbers are not equal with last year? I'm like, well, last year was phenomenal. The year before that was phenomenal as well. How can we even if we could match those numbers, it would be great, but probably not.
I mean, I have to say almost everyone I know got a pet over the pandemic, whether it was a dog or a cat or a reptile or a fish. People needed something to do. So
the good thing that came out of the pandemic was it really revitalized the fish industry. We got people to really go look at fish more seriously again. More hobbyists came about, which I think was a great thing. I mean, reptiles were always popular because they were the millennial and X generation, that kind of thing. But the fish was kind of the baby boomer generation like me. And then there was a little pieces of it like betta and stuff like that. But it's nice to see that whole terrible pandemic, something good came out of it. And that was that people really got back into their hobbies. They put their cell phone down. Yeah. So I like that. So where can collectors find Penn Plax ornaments besides eBay?
So I would definitely say for some of the more classic ones that aren't in production anymore, they are hard to come by. As you said, they're selling for exorbitant amounts of money on different platforms. As far as our standard product line go, we are an international company as well as domestic. So we retail our products in over 50 different countries throughout the world. And then within the US, we sell to the mom and pop distribution channel, the independent pet chains, the larger pet chains, as well as the mass merchant. So they are available wherever pet products are being sold.
That's great. So probably if somebody went to Europe, there's a good chance if they walked into some old pet shop, they might find some of these old ornaments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they are around.
We've already scoured the US, so we have to go to Europe now to find what's over there. So are your grandparents still with us?
they are. Yep.
Wow.
They're still on Long Island, and Marvin still reads a number of the emails that come through the company just to stay up with what's going on. And he comes into the office every once in a while and, gives him line drawings of new products that he's created.
That's awesome. That is great. Well, I have to show you just a couple ornaments that I pulled just, I don't know if you guys, this is new stuff that you did, new jewel box. There's the dinosaur, and there's a little, this is a Captain Nemo. And that was inspired by you, right, Michele?
I like to think so.
You are the mermaid, right? And then
I was.
this is the second generation. We call them the brown box. There's the UFO. And these were, which is really nice that you guys dated all this stuff. I love that. So this was like 1988 was the date.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an 80s box.
Yeah. And then my very favorite, the Surfing Mermaid. I love the Surfing Mermaid. And this was 1971.
Mm-hmm.
And the Buccaneer, this was also, I think, 71. And then if we want to go to 60s, 1969, the Diver.
Yeah, you've got them all throughout the years. It's great.
Classic. And these are the blue box. The blue box are the rarest ones. That's what all the collectors want. They say, oh, do you have a blue box?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then some of the really old stuff too is, you know, this actually was new old stock. Believe it or not, I got this from a distributor that had it on their shelf.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it? Like brand new. And it's like 1970. And,
You have a better collection than we do, I think.
well, I have extras of these. I could send you these.
That's great.
I'll send you a set.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And of course, you guys, I sold tons of this when I worked in a pet shop. I always sold Penn Plax backgrounds and ornaments. Although I don't remember the monster. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this was before my time because I was probably really little when the vacuform stuff came. But this was a yawning clam and Neptune's castle, and vacuformed. And when I was a little kid, we had a vacuform machine that we could buy, and I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called vacuform or something like that. But it heated up a piece of plastic, and you put a little mold on one side, and you flipped it over, and it molded onto your little car, whatever the mold was, and then you cut it out and put wheels on it. And of course, they took it off the market because some kid probably burned himself, and the dad sued the company, you know, which is really a shame because those products really inspired me to want to have machinery and make things, you know. So, well, God, I'm so glad that you guys took the time to come and talk to us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for asking us to join you.
Very much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Is there any final comments? I mean, Penn Plax is a great company. They've been around for so long. I don't know of any companies that are around longer than you guys now. I think you might have you might be number one as far as the oldest company out there.
We're hoping to be around for, you know, twice as long as we already were. I have a 2-year-old and I'm already trying to push all the pet products on her. So we'll see what happens.
You got to train her to.
Absolutely. We love what we do. I mean, it's still obviously a family group here. We have a lot of fun with our team on the Penn Plax side, developing, coming out with new products, and we're pet people. So we love pets, we love the industry, and we're happy to be doing what we love.
Well, I'm grateful you guys came again, and I really wish Penn Plax all the luck in the world. You guys are a great company. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that, again, it's great that you talked about some of these items because a lot of collectors out there want to know some of the real story. So we did give them a bit of the real story here. Again, say hello to your parents for me, and say hello to your grandparents for me. I know a couple of them, I think, and again, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
We have a few samples that someone keeps running into our office just so you can see. We got some of these.
Oh my God, it's a monster.
It's a monster.
Is that like a second generation or is that first?
I don't know what year this is, but this is
And then we have a more modern one
That's
as well. So a few of them scattered throughout.
Okay, you need to box those up and put Gary Bagnall 3.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the first one might have been original prototype too, you know, before we even came out with the jewel box.
You know, I've never seen that before. That probably was the Holy Grail. You're probably,
Might be.
you're handling the Holy Grail.
No, I think this was predating the creature, the
That-
monster.
How cool, you just made everybody's day.
Well, thank you so much.
Well,
A lot of fun talking to you.
thank you too.
Very much. We appreciate it.
Great, thank you.